Hey guys, what's up? So it is day 4 of Get Your Mind Off the Coronavirus. So today, as I mentioned in the last video, we will be reviewing Netflix shows. So I'll just give you the list of the shows I'm going to do. On My Block, All American, Degrassi Next Class, The Circle, and Greenhouse Academy. Those are just some of the shows that I love on Netflix, but I am going to recommend some others down in the description box below, so be sure to check those out because all of those shows are awesome too. Okay, so the first show I'll be reviewing is All American. So this show is about a high school boy named Spencer James that is really good at football. He's super smart, and he's going to the South Crenshaw High School. Then Billy Baker, the coach at Beverly Hills, comes and invites Spencer to go play for his team. So the whole story revolves around Spencer moving to Beverly Hills to live with Billy Baker's family and what that's kind of like for him, and then how football is over at Beverly Hills. And then, of course, there's still some stuff happening at his old neighborhood in South Crenshaw, and he has to deal with his family and his friends back home. Okay, I like this show because it's a really good idea for a show. Like, I love the idea around it. Like, the Spencer has to move neighborhoods in order to go after his dream, and I think that's really cool. And all of the characters are really good in that show. I love all of them, and they display their emotions really well, so it's easy to, connect with them and actually feel what they're feeling. It's a very emotional show, and all of the characters are dealing with their own problems, including gangs and drugs and alcohol and all of that stuff. And I think it's really important that these topics are mentioned in the show because it really helps get a sense of where they are and, the setting of where they're living and everything. A few bad things about this show, I feel like it has potential to be even better than it is. So I feel like this show could go a lot farther. Also, when Spencer is in Beverly High, it mainly takes place around Beverly, and he does go back to South Crenshaw, and that's a whole thing, but I feel like even more of that would be better for this show, so you could really understand the different settings in Beverly High and South Crenshaw. I would rate this show 4.5 stars. The next show I will be reviewing is The Circle. Okay, so The Circle is a reality TV show, and it has a really good idea for this show. It's not really like any other reality TV show. It isn't baking or painting or any of that stuff that you normally see. It is a social media competition, and I think it's a really good show for all ages because it's entertaining, it's suspenseful. You can get really attached to these contestants, you want to fight for them. You're fighting for their relationships with each other and everything. And it's a really cool show because basically they're all texting and getting to know each other on this platform called The Circle, and then at the end of the show they can win $10,000, and basically whoever is the most popular of them. So in a way it's an experiment for social media, and seeing how catfish is on actual social media can really feel like real people, Okay, the only things that are bad about this show probably are the episodes are pretty long, and there's a lot going on, so you have to keep track of everything, and it can be a little bit slow, but it is also really just building the suspense. I would rate this show 4.5 stars. Okay, the next show we'll be reviewing is Degrassi Next Class. This show is about a group of high schoolers in, I think, junior and senior years. And so it is all across grades. They are a large number of students, and you see each of their individual stories and how they're coping with high school life. So I like this show because it shows lots of different struggles that a lot of people have while they're in high school. A lot of people can relate to this kind of stuff while they're in high school, and I think this show is really helpful in maybe finding solutions to that stuff and reflecting how actual high school is for some people. The show also is really good at going back and forth between those characters and not focusing too much on one character. But the downside of this is you can't easily get attached to one character because you sort of have to focus on all of them, and it's harder to like one character better, I would rate Degrassi Next Class 4 stars. The next show I'll be reviewing is Greenhouse Academy. This show is about another group of high schoolers, kind of like Degrassi, but it takes a futuristic approach on high school. They're at this leadership high school, and they're not facing the similar problems as modern day high schoolers were like in Degrassi. They are facing much more complicated problems. There are a lot of secret agencies, and they're trying to corrupt the school or blow up caves and everything, and it's a lot different, so you don't see a lot of the normal high school problems in this show. I like the idea of the show because it takes a futuristic approach. I like how it's just not a normal high school, and it's kind of cool to see I wonder if that's going to be our future, I wonder if high schools will evolve into that. Okay, the reasons why I didn't like this show were because it can get kind of boring after a while. It's a little bit slow. It will be the kind of show that you'll watch and really like and, then get sidetracked and watch other things and do other things and come back to it and be like, do I really have to finish this? It also has a lot of the same issues. I feel like there's a lot of caves, there's a lot of blowing up and all of that stuff, and they have to save people, and it's a lot of the same criminals, and you're like, didn't they already defeat them? The last thing about the show is it can be a little bit cheesy. It's directed for 11 to 13-year-olds probably, and it can get a little cheesy and a little boring and all of that stuff. So if you're not into that kind of stuff, then I wouldn't recommend this show. I am going to rate this show 3.5 stars. The last show I will be reviewing today is On My Block. So with this show, I really have nothing that bad to say about it. It is a really well-designed show. It is about 4 friends living in central Los Angeles, and they're dealing with problems such as gangs and trying to stay friends because they're in their freshman year of high school, and they were friends all through elementary school, and so it's really the struggle of staying friends and fighting through those problems together. I like this show because it has a really good mix of just about everything you'd want in a show. It has humor, it has suspense, it's emotional, there's lots of feelings in it, and you can really have a connection to the characters and what they're thinking and feeling, what life is like for them. It also has generally short episodes, usually 25 to 30 minutes. I like this because you can watch one episode and then you can be they're short enough so I can maybe watch another one, but if they're an hour-long shows, then you can barely get through one, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm done with this, But On My Block kind of keeps you going and keeps watching those shows. I like this show because it has lots of good cliffhangers. Each episode is really good at finding that cliffhanger that will keep you watching. And it's really not repetitive. It doesn't use a lot of the same cliffhangers. I know in a lot of other shows, they'll be oh, somebody died, and then in the next episode, oh, another person died, and it's just that repetitive feeling. But in On My Block, there's lots of different ways to keep you watching. It's a really good show, and I'd highly recommend it. I rate it 5 stars. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. A reminder, I do have other recommendations of shows, which are in the description box below. I didn't have time to review those today, but they are awesome, so you should definitely go watch them and check them out. I hope this video helped you and will help you find a new Netflix show to binge. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We will be doing some baking. Bye!